Are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about that?
I've known Colleen for since I was 12.
Shocking and sad as this may sound, Jojo Siwa recently started trouble when she defended the now infamous YouTuber Colleen Ballinger, and people are beyond mad at her at this. But that's not all, loves. Colleen's ex-husband Joshua Evans finally spoke out about their past, and trust me, it's a story you wouldn't want to miss, y'all, because shocking revelations were made and secrets were spilled. Without further ado, loves, let's get right into it.
So for those that don't know, Colleen is in the middle of and she's getting accused of things.
Yes.
Which we don't have to talk about that she's accused of, but I would imagine if you're friends with her, you kind of met her when you were young.
I was 12 when I met her.
And
she's always been nothing but kind to me, her family, nothing but kind to me.
Jojo Siwa made a guest appearance on the Howie Mandel podcast where she dropped the bombshell. So, like all of you know, Jojo Siwa and Colleen have been friends for years, and so it was expected that at some point during the podcast, the ukulele maestro would come up in the conversation, and she had a ton of stuff to say. Take a listen.
This is the first time that I've talked about this, so I just want to make sure I say my exact piece that I want to say. The internet can take a lie and run so far with it, so far, to the point where you just can't do anything about it.
Jojo Siwa had the guts to defend Colleen amidst the outrage over her questionable interactions with her younger fans, even with all the evidence stacked against her. I mean, seriously, this wasn't some tabloid rumor, even with the big, most trustworthy news sources covering the story. And Colleen later gave us what many called the most cringy celebrity apology of the century, where she not only shifted the blame to her victims, but made a joke of the whole situation by serving up a half-hearted song complete with a ukulele. And to date, she was branded the queen of the ukulele. It's barely been 2 months, y'all, and the ukulele chords are still ringing in our ears. Now Jojo Siwa has taken us back again.
I know Colleen very, very, very well, and I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character. And I think being a comedian is very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. You know what I mean?
Jojo had quite a spin on things, loves. She boldly said that all those allegations against Colleen were plain false. Just the way Colleen blamed her victims, Jojo blamed the internet for blowing things out of proportion. And here's the kicker, guys. Jojo Siwa found a way to twist every question to make it appear as if Colleen was some kind of saint. For instance, when asked about how they became friends despite the huge age difference between them, she narrated this beautiful story of how Colleen reached out to her and Nia after seeing how disappointed they were for not having met her since the two weren't invited at a party where Colleen had made a guest appearance. They ended up having dinner, and Jojo said it was during that dinner that Colleen sold her the idea of having a YouTube channel as a career. Jojo basically brushed off the whole public outcry as cancel culture and claimed lots of other celebs had faced it anyway. What is she even saying here?
how is it for you now being her friend and reading some of what we read? Do you think it's all a lie? Do you think it's like, have you talked to her?
There have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation. This is a sensitive subject. Somebody who is affected by, for real grooming, it's a very sensitive thing.
She can't even answer a simple yes or no question just because Colleen has been her friend ever since she was 12. Unreal. All right, loves, let's sum it up. So basically, Siwa thinks you, the public, and the alleged victims are blowing things way, way out of proportion.
She's cool, you know? And I think the problem is the internet was able to capitalize off of her cancellation, and they still are, and they still are continuing to, and it's not okay because a lot of it is based off of lies.
People were super disgusted by Jojo Siwa, and the entire comment section was literally ablaze. Jojo, this is not cancel culture, it's criminal what Colleen did. Not surprised she's defending Colleen. It's disgusting of you to call her victims liars when there's proof. The girl seems to surround herself with predators. outsiders. How do people not understand that just because someone was nice to you, it doesn't automatically mean that they aren't capable of doing terrible things to others? But wait a minute, guys. Was Colleen Ballinger truly nice to Jojo Siwa? Well, people on the internet have some doubts, and they have dug up several videos that the two did together, and let's just say it's one of those once you see it, you can't unsee it types of situations.
You are not supposed to dress when you are dancing, and I can see your entire leg. You drink milk.
Yes.
You know that comes from a private part? First position, second position, third position, split. Whoa! Did you hurt your tooth?
What's it do?
First of all, how is it even appropriate for a 30-year-old to befriend a 14-year-old kid and start asking her questions like this in the video?
Have you ever taken the pants off and seen what's inside?
In public, no. On the toilet, yes.
And?
In my own privacy, yes.
And then there was this other video of Jojo Siwa and Colleen playing Never Have I Ever, where they were discussing things like body parts, kissing, boyfriends, and crushes.
There's definitely a streak in my panties right now.
Is there?
Always.
Should we get that looked at?
No, you want to look at my
No,
streak in my panties?
not me.
Remember, y'all, in this video, Jojo was just 15, and Colleen, well, a whole 31-year-old. Now, you tell me, does that sound like a normal friendship? Now, here's where it gets juicy. Well, there's one person who knows Colleen Ballinger better than any of us, and he's been keeping quiet for years, until recently when he decided to go to the public with his side of the story, and y'all, talk about perfect timing. I mean, who better to tell us about Colleen Ballinger really than the man who shared his life with her, Joshua David, her ex-husband. Yup, get ready for the insider info, loves. So Whoop did an epic 4-hour sit down with Josh, and true to the title, he spills every last drop of the tea.
Some of the eye contact that you saw in the ukulele video, kind of that a darkness in her eye, I saw it all the time.
You see, we've never really heard Joshua's side of the story since that messy divorce, and Colleen always painted him as the bad guy, but guess what? It seems like Joshua had been waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and oh boy, did he deliver. Right out of the gate, Josh started dropping bombshells, claiming that there was a lot of unfaithfulness going on in Colleen's corner, revealing that he caught Colleen entertaining other people even during their honeymoon. And to make matters worse, Colleen would badmouth him to others as well. In fact, Colleen was already seeing Eric, her current partner, while they were still together, to the point of even inviting Eric over to their home. So one day, Josh said, you know what, enough is enough. Yep, he confronted Colleen with the evidence, an argument ensued, and bam, that's the day their marriage went up in flames. To make matters worse, since Colleen kept trashing him in public, Josh said that he was dragged and bullied so much that people started sending him death threats, which took such a toll on him that he ended up battling alcoholism and depression.
No matter how right I thought I was, it didn't matter. She's the angel, and here I am, a villain who just wanted a marriage to work.
Would you believe that Colleen even sent Josh threats privately?
They said, this is the Colleen train. You either get on as a passenger or she's gonna leave the station without you.
Sit tight, loves. This is the part we've all been waiting for, the alleged inappropriate closeness with minors. Josh admitted that he participated in Colleen's videos to boost his YouTube career, but looking back, he realizes that was very wrong. There's a twist though. He denied ever suggesting or writing anything inappropriate, claiming that Colleen never respected his opinions anyway. So what's the verdict? Well, Joshua pulls a whole bunch of others who are presenting sufficient evidence proving that Colleen Ballinger is a predator. The drama just keeps on coming. Okay, loves, let's get back to Jojo Siwa. And the big question is, why can't she just stay away from trouble? You see, Jojo Siwa and Colleen Ballinger are the classic proof of show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Jojo then started getting louder to the point that she started irritating her fans. She even started using sensitive topics like pregnancy for clickbait, and that didn't sit well with a lot of people. And just like that, they flushed her down the drain. It all started when Jojo came out as a member of the LGBT LGBTQ community, which was awesome. But what we did not know was that Jojo only went public to make money. Shortly after that, she started sharing her love life details online, and before long, it started feeling like her coming out wasn't genuine, and that she only wanted to create controversial content around the topic because Jojo Siwa publicly broke up with her then partner just to be with someone else. Safe to say that what happened next was one of the incidences that sent Jojo Siwa to the gutters. I'm talking about the time that she got caught in the middle of a huge breakup between the famous couple, Avery Cyrus and Soph. Of course, she tried playing it cool, just the way that she's doing now with Colleen's case, saying that that wasn't the reason for their split, but then she was spotted with Avery way too often. Anyways, you know what they say, you lose them how you got them. Jojo Siwa and Avery called it quits just a few months into their relationship. Of course, they pulled that old tired "we'll always be friends" line in their breakup announcement, but let's be real, we know how that goes. Stop lying. I mean, didn't Avery run back to her ex and they started posting videos that were like arrows aimed straight at Jojo Siwa's heart?
So as soon as we find out who you are, trust you will be dealt with.
Jojo fell for it, and she even made a video claiming that Avery and Soph were just using her for clout. She went all out on TikTok saying that Avery was using her to boost her own career.
Why are you mad? Why are you mad?
Because I got used
For what?
for views
Aww.
and for clout. And I got tricked into being told that I was loved.
You told one of my best friends that you were excited to be dating me because you're growing your career and want to be at the top. So much for "we'll always be friends." But that wasn't all. Jojo had a light bulb moment one day thinking, how come these online streets are so quiet? I need to remind people that I'm Jojo Siwa. And in true Jojo fashion, as the queen of scandals, she managed to keep her name in our mouths for quite some time. Remember during the podcast when Jojo was trying to justify how wrong the cancel culture is? She mentioned that it has happened to her too, but what Jojo did not mention was what she did to get canceled. Guys, Jojo Siwa pulled one of the most horrific, pathetic, outright disgusting stunts you could ever imagine. She pretended to be pregnant. No, it wasn't a one-time thing. She kept it going for weeks. People just couldn't get it. Like, what in the book of clout chasing was she up to? The issue with Jojo's clickbaiting technique is that she took things way over the top. I mean, have y'all considered the amount of dedication it takes to constantly poke out your stomach for weeks pretending it's a baby bump? No, she didn't stop there. She even threw a huge gender reveal party and did a Target shopping spree for baby clothes. Seriously, the dedication to this charade was next level because she even had a picture of a guy placing his hands on her fake pregnant belly, suggesting that he was the baby daddy. People were so convinced that she was really pregnant, but what really got under their skin was how insensitive and bizarre it was for her to joke about something as sensitive as pregnancy, especially when so many folks struggle with fertility and reproductive health issues. Guys, when I tell you she was dragged, I mean dragged. So here's the $1 million question. How much was Snapchat paying her to go this low? Her comment section, which was once a haven of positivity and fun, had now turned into a battlefield, trying so hard to be relevant again. It's called clickbait, and the more y'all post about it, the more she will keep doing it. Okay, thank God someone else sees this as wrong. I've seen people say, oh, she's being funny. Like, how is that funny? My little sister wants a baby and can't have one. I want to know how much Snap is paying her for her pregnancy clickbait. Well. If Jojo created all this buzz just to make headlines, then we've got to hand it to her. She definitely got what she wanted. Once Jojo got a taste of the Snap money, she became increasingly annoying by the day. And it seemed like her only life mission at the time was to piss people off.
You're still a traitor.
R.I.P. headphone users. Like in this video where she was making funny faces and people responded by mimicking her facial expressions. And speaking of cash, Jojo managed to pull in a crowd, and word on the street is that Snapchat paid her anywhere between $100K and $500K per day for the shenanigans she was pulling. Funnily enough, just like Colleen Ballinger, who started off as a much-loved YouTuber and comedian to the most hated influencer, Jojo Siwa shares the same fate because while she started off as a dancer and social media star, let's just say that her name isn't exactly music to anyone's ears anymore, especially after defending an abuser. Anyways, loves, do you think it was okay for Jojo Siwa to defend Colleen Ballinger like that? Also, do you think that she also could have been a victim without realizing it? I would love to hear your opinion on this situation down below, and don't forget to click on the tab above for more videos on these celebrities and influencers.